The towns we grew up in they were rough. They wasn't hard. It was rough. Because when you was a kid, being a kid was a process. And that's what it was. So it's not what you gonna do is process. Because like I was saying, you had a point, we had a point in our life, like I said, where you go be in the streets or you okay your after school and make something of yourself. You know, what you gonna do. And we all had athletes that could have been the next Michael Jordan, Bo Jackson, whatever, and then they went right instead of going left. And when they went right, they fucked up. Instead of going left where everybody else was going. And when they did that, I mean, it just fucked up a lot of things. Because we knew what was right from wrong. But they didn't follow that. They wanted to be the badass. You know, we're not gonna say we wasn't all biscuits and gravy and all what they say, sunshine and rainbows. Nah, we all fucked up and did shit. We all got in fights. We went and fought other motherfuckers, but we got in fights. We got in fights. And then when that shit was over, matter of fact, most of the time motherfuckers we fought, we would end up being friends with.
That part.
I mean, that's the crazy part. I mean, motherfucker, you ain't saying about you go kill him, but you go beat his ass and you go fuck him up. Not too long after y'all motherfuckers hanging out, going to get burgers, going to the movies, fuck around the mall, all kind of shit. I mean, because the shit was over with. It's a process. And it depends on what you go do with that process is how you go turn out. You know, motherfucker, and then fuck around, you go to college and you see all the motherfuckers who you didn't like, that's from your town. Motherfucker, y'all the bestest friends now.
Yeah, because y'all out of town.
Because now y'all out of towners. So now y'all brothers and sisters now. Y'all got to look out for each other. Just in case. I'm going to tell you some shit. This is one thing I tell people all the time. And a lot of people don't know this. And this dumb motherfucker say this dumb shit. When you hear motherfuckers holler at Duval, Duval came from a word when we used to be in the moon years ago.
Okay.
And in Tallahassee, it's two motherfuckers that run Tallahassee. Jacksonville and Miami. When you come in the moon, and people know this, when you walk in the moon, it's the upstairs part.
The moon was a club.
The moon, it's still a club. The moon, the club in one of the oldest club, one of the other oldest clubs in Tallahassee, one of the most popular clubs in Tallahassee.
Okay. When
you walk in, the right side was Jacksonville, the left side was Miami. So now, you know, they always fought back there. We always fought. That's just how it's supposed to be.
Right.
So to know who you was, because I know you holler out Duval. Or if you somewhere and somebody finna jump on your ass, you holler Duval. So when you hear motherfuckers say Duval, you follow that shit and you get to them, and that's when it pop off. That's where that shit come from.
So that's where the Duval call.
That's where it came from.
That's
where it came from. And this was back in the 80s. From back in the 80s. Like the late 80s, right now. And then when we got the BCR, Daytona. If you somewhere, somebody fuck with you or some shit going on, because you know Daytona is still the same shit. Miami, they don't give a fuck about nobody else. It's Jacksonville and Miami. So if you get some shit, holler that shit and watch where your motherfuckers run to. Because they gonna run to your ass. And by the time they get there, it's gonna be some ass kicking.
How you say it?
Say what?
The call.
No, I don't do all that shit.
What do you mean?
I don't do that shit.
What do you mean?
I don't do that shit in the game. I don't do that shit. I said, because no, I tell you when I say that shit, it's about to happen. So I don't even play with it.
Oh, so you're OG.
Now, you know what? I'm going to tell you this. I did do it when we was in New Orleans.
Why?
I did do it in New Orleans.
For
because
what?
we was on Bourbon Street. And there's a bunch of motherfuckers on Bourbon Street. So I hollered at and fuck around, and that was it. And, you know, but I don't just run around saying that shit. I don't run around doing all that.
That's some new shit. That's some new school shit.
That's some shit. I don't get into it like that because it's a little different with me. So I just kind of let them have it.
Right.
Y'all right that shit. Y'all have a good time with it.
Because originally,
it was a call.
Call to arms. Yeah,
it's about to happen. So I'm like, okay, and I was like, nah, but we
distressing.
Exactly, that's what it was. And, hey man, get y'all shit together. It's going down over here, literally. Wow. And that club, the Moon was like a spot. I mean, that was one of the spots where we really got with the Hot Boys. They used to come in. We used to have a Kona. This is what we were DJing. And they used to have a DJ's conference up there. Okay. At the Moon, and that was like our spot there. I mean, because I was part of it. And my boy Shane, he worked with TJ. Then one time with TJ in the African American Radio Hall of Fame. One time for him and all y'all. Keith and all them up there.
Shout out
to your boy. That's a big accomplishment. But I used to raise hell in that joke of that boy. Every artist, every DJ knew who the fuck I was. And they would tell you, you say, Bodie, that nigga Bodie, that motherfucker wild. Because I was real wild back then, boy. Real wild. You can ask any artist that came through there. I'm talking even me, and this was back when she got married. Me and Ross tried to holler at Remy Ma the same night.
Oh, yeah.
And me and him, I was doing an interview with him, and she walked in, we like, God damn. Hey. Look there. We and that motherfucker, man. Got that shot at Rick Ross too. That was my homeboy back then. He was cool as fuck. But yeah, that was a spot then. Like I said, we get over there. I'm over there with Wayne and Juvie, all us over there. These motherfuckers throwing money up in the air vent. In the air vent. The motherfucker tipped. No, dog, y'all tips up there. Literally in the air vent. Just acting stupid. Just stupid. And the thing in the Moon, they don't pour drinks now. You get your drink out of spigot.
Right.
So like we do spray this shit.
Right.
Just so whatever come out that spigot, that's your drink.
Right.
And we were like, God damn, man. And the baby say, man, get a container and fill that shit up. Look up trying to fill that shit up that spigot. You're like, man, that shit done broke. We done broke the spigot trying to get drinks out of it. That motherfucker was mad at this shit, man. I ain't never seen nothing like this. And then the dude that ran to play Vaughn, he finally went back and got bottles and shit and brought it out. Man, that shit was wild. That shit was crazy as fuck, man. That shit was crazy. But yeah, that was a good ass time. Good ass time.
Yeah, you started off young. You started off as a jit, so
I had a chance to meet. I had a chance to meet so many people.
You had that energy. You was live.
Live in the word, boy. Live in the word. I was out there. I was like, they was going to pit bull. Because even when we went places to play, if a motherfucker was playing right, I said, okay, man, that's enough of y'all. Get the fuck from up here. Or I just stopped the music and, hey, it's time for us to play now. Y'all done had enough. And turn that motherfucker out. But that was the energy that we had. It was a certain type of energy that shit was like Michael Jackson being on stage. Matter of fact, my boy Sap, he was like Michael Jackson. We done been in the club, he got the microphone. This motherfucker disappeared from by me. Next thing you know, he way the fuck over there. We're like, what the fuck is this nigga at? That motherfucker all that. He hanging off shit. He like an old ass Jamaican artist. He jumping off shit. He jumping off the speakers. He running around. Like, this motherfucker is crazy. So but it was a good match for everybody because that's what we did. I mean, that's how it was. Like I said, we entertained, and then we played music. We entered because everybody was like, what the fuck these motherfuckers gonna do next?
Right.
And because they didn't know where it was coming from.
Right.
It wasn't the same thing. It was the same constant show. No, it was something totally different.
You know, I've seen a lot of that with the more seasoned Florida DJs. With the seasoned Florida DJs, you know, not the new school, but the ones that already got their feet planted in the game, they definitely put on a show. Shout out to my boy Doom. Been around, we doing this shit forever. Shout out to Doom.
Me and Doom got to put out an apartment up here.
Oh yeah.
we used to be at Cross Creek. Man, I had a pajama party at Cross Creek one night. It ain't just block up all across Creek. That shit was out in the parking lot across from there. And the mother was over in London Town. It was so many cars. They had brought the police bus, the helicopters, everything was out here. Wow. That shit was so wild.
Wow.
Guess what? Eviction notice. Y'all motherfuckers got to go. We had that motherfucker on fire. On fire. Woo. Never again. Like never again.
Who's one of your favorite DJs in the industry?
Jazzy Jeff.
Oh man, I'm glad you said him, man.
Jazzy
That's
Jeff.
my favorite.
And the thing about it was, and another one too, was Cut Creator.
Cut Creator was
Terminator
dope.
X.
Terminator X.
And Eddie F. And Eddie, I met when I first we did a show because we used to rap too back in the day.
Okay.
Me and Doom as a rap, and my boy JP. We had a little group together.
Your name was Bodie?
Yeah, my name always been
Bodie.
Bodie.
I was about to say
I ain't never got no other name.
Oh, I thought you said I want a funny ass MC name.
No.
MC Lightfoot or some shit.
No, my name has always been Bodie. Always. They were like, that's your real name? That's my real name. So you say Bodie, that's me.
Okay.
But yeah, that was back in Daytona. We was getting ready to do a show. And we walked in, and I walked out, who I didn't know at the time was Andre Harrell.
Okay.
And me and him walked out, and then he walked outside to get his groups. And it was him, Heavy D and the Boys, it was Jodeci, and Puck. And they wouldn't let me say, y'all name it on the list. I was like, what you mean? I said, they performing. You know what the fuck this is? They say, hey man, y'all better let these boys in. So the security was acting like a little asshole. We beating on the door on the side because these boys got to go on stage. I got to go on stage. Devastator. Devastator, JT Money, and all them producers back in Devastator. He came to the door, and I was like, hey man, these motherfuckers fuck around and let these boys in, because at the time they were still coming up. Because Father MC song, Everything's Gonna Be Alright, we had just hit. Okay. So he was the only one that had a name. So these motherfuckers is on the list. They got to show they got to come in and do their thing. Devastator went back and got Luke. Luke came back and said, "Oh, y'all just come on, fuck them." That motherfucker security, they supposed to be head security stood right there and watch everybody walk in and say shit. Luke said, "The motherfucker give y'all a problem again. Let me know. I shut this motherfucker down." I'm like, yes sir, boss. But yeah, at that time, that's when I became friends with a lot of them, and they helped me out a lot. Like I said, that's how I got a chance to go places with them. You know what I'm saying? Because back then, they used to do the Arts and Entertainment Weekend back then. And they used to do that before it was in Miami. It was over in Puerto Rico. And I got to go to Puerto Rico because that's when I was doing radio. Like, oh, dog, you on the air? You got to come over and fuck with us. Man, that was some shit I had never seen. Because I had never seen a bunch of guys from New York in Puerto Rico on the beach with Tim's boots and them fat jackets. I'm like, these motherfuckers finna die. These motherfuckers finna die on this. These motherfuckers, don't you fuck, you got on them big ass jeans and boots on. The guy, DOS Effects, he done passed out.
Wow.
From heat exhaustion. These motherfuckers went back, okay, now they come back out. They took the jackets off. They just got on tank tops and them boots and them goddamn big ass jeans. Man, that shit was so fucking wild. That shit was so wild. Like, what the fuck is y'all doing? Everybody, you know everybody from New York because of what they had on.
But because of
what they had on.
Right.
That shit was so wild. Man, we got up, man, everybody was cool as fuck back then, and that was the part about the hip hop community that I loved back then.
Right.
Because from that time, everybody was cool as fuck together. You know what I'm saying? Motherfuckers done came down like Ja when them first started, when they first started, they came down, they had a little problem. We had them straighten that shit out. They went on about their business. But when he came back on a tour with Jay-Z, and they came to the club. Bodie, I appreciate everything you did with us, man. And we had a ball that night.
It was the Tupac. It was that East West thing.
Yeah, that shit was just so
fucked everything up.
It was so because, like I say, everything was going good. Everybody had little shit going on, but it was just everything. That shit at that point in time, shit was finna happen. Shit was getting ready to happen that they wouldn't have no control over.
Because we had Jack the Rapper, we had the New Music Seminar.
Exactly. The technicians had us start everything, which turned into the core DJs thing.
Right. Everybody was cool.
Everybody was cool. Everybody was doing their thing. And it was about because at that point, because before, they were trying to keep everybody separate.
Except if you had beef with somebody. Yeah, it was a few.
It was a little thing, a little squad. But at that point in time, you could have just squashed that shit right on that.
Right.
It was just, we talk about it, and it'd be over with. I put it this way. If you had beef with somebody, and let's say anybody from Houdini walked in, a DMC done walked in, or I even say Chuck Brown, King's son.
Damn, you
if them motherfuckers walked in, if them niggas walked in, oh, that shit was over with, because they wouldn't have that shit there. Yeah. Because the thing about it was, everybody was street. They didn't show they were street. You just knew it back then. You already know, okay, this motherfucker come in, you gotta give respect. You gotta give him respect. And that's it. And we say, hey man, well, what's going on? We heard such and such and such. Oh no, everything cool, now fuck that. So you squash that shit and it's over with. It wasn't no carrying no shit on. Nah, that shit over.
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? That shit's just done.
You're right.
Why the fuck keep going through the same? Nah, fuck that, man.
And we have respect for the next man.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. And like I say, that's why it was so much individuality. Everybody ain't doing the same thing. Nobody's doing the same thing. It just wasn't like that.
A lot of the myths is that in New York, New York didn't have respect for down south rappers.
Oh, I knew that was fake from the jump.
Yeah,
I never cared about that.
That was a myth. Because one of the songs that I don't know if I broke this song. I don't want to say I broke it, but I say I broke it in my neighborhood. So I know when I played Doodoo Brown. No one else was playing that shit. But everybody liked it.
They did. Anything made girls ass shake, they loved it.
But it was different for us in the North. It was a different sound, but we liked it.
Yeah.
I played. My brother actually brought. Shout out to my brother Kenny. My brother brought. Fucking what's their names? Ghetto Boys. Mm-hmm. My brother brought Ghetto Boys, Mind Playing Tricks on Me and all that to us. We played that. It blew our mind. Like I think I broke that in my neighborhood. I'm gonna say that because I don't know what else was playing elsewhere, what other people playing elsewhere. But I broke that as far as the places I played. Right. And a lot of stuff from the South, man. And then. You know, Trick Daddy, what's her name, man? I used to play the shit out of that song. You understand what I'm saying?
Because it was the same thing. It was just a different way of getting it out. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And how I looked at it, because here I had to play pretty much everything. Because like I said, we had a huge military. We got military everywhere. Right, they everywhere. So we got to play something for everybody. Right. So I was able to get into all that. Because the first time I heard Big L, I fucking lost it. I heard Big L, I was like, this motherfucker here? Woo-hoo-hoo. I was like, God damn. Fuck all that. Did y'all hear this motherfucker right here? And then I was like, when he got killed, that shit hurt me.
Everybody loved Big
that shit. I was like, what the fuck? You thinking everything, but then you realize it's streets everywhere you go.
Everywhere.
It's streets everywhere you go. So we talk about the same thing, but in a different manner. But it's all about the same place we come from. And that's the one thing about it. Everybody talk about the same thing in a different manner from the same place. And that's all it is.